everybody, Carol here, welcome. This is the card I'm going to be making today. It's called a flip-flop card, and you can see why. It goes like that. You decorate the front, and then on the back, this is what it looks like. Closes up, going in an envelope. So, hope you enjoy, and let me turn the camera down to the table. Okay, so these are the papers I'm using today, and it's called a Family Night. It's by Cartabella, I believe. And these are just some of the sheets of the papers you have to choose from, and of course they're on the back also. Lots of choices. I just loved this pack. I love anything retro, and so these are the papers I chose to use, and then the golden color there is from my stash. But you hear this term in the card making world about auditioning paper, and that's kind of what I'm doing there, is just seeing which ones I like better together, and because I'm going to match them with some stickers, and there's one of them, for example. Lots of colors to choose from in there, and you can see the sticker sheet there, how much I have cut it apart and used it, and you'll be seeing some of those as I go along. But anyway, so I decided not to use the red. I like these others, and so as I go along and I start playing with the different papers, you'll see that as I try one on top of the other on top of the other. And then I decided I wanted that orange strip, and that's from my stash also, but to go with that, and again to kind of match up with the colors. And so those are the stickers I'm going to be using. I decided to not use this, even though as much as I love it, the little kids watching TV. But anyway, so here are the measurements, and I just thought, I was cleaning off my board, and I thought I could just put that in there and just show, if you have a board like this, some of your tools have a flat end, so you can just scrape all that right on out and just clean it right on up, scrape it out of the grooves. But anyway, so here are my card measurements. And a long time ago, I made this. I got the idea from Sandy Genovese. And so I just thought I'd show you. That is the mechanism, how it opens and closes like that. And the scoring that you do in the middle only goes down an inch from the top and comes up an inch from the bottom. So the measurements on this are 3 3/4. And then from the other side, it's 4 3/4. So I just counted over. By the way, this is a 5x10 card, but it will fold up to go into a 5x7 envelope. So in between those two score lines, you'll have 1.5 inches. So I decided to flip it around so that I could score it from the top again. So this time, the measurement's going to be 4 3/4 from the left-hand side. And that'll keep the lines even. And it'll be 3 3/4 from the right hand side. And again, I'm putting my ruler there as a stopper, actually, to keep me from going past the 1 inch mark. It really wouldn't hurt that much, but I just didn't see any sense in scoring that middle section, which you'll see here in a minute, which is a rectangle. So now, this is where I need to decide where to put the rectangle. It will go after those inch marks from the top and the bottom, and then score over from the left-hand side. You can see very clearly there, it goes over 2.5 inches. That's the left-hand edge of the box. And then 3.5 inches from the other side. And so I end up measuring all this and matching the dots and drawing out the square, but actually all I really needed to do was just make some tick marks, because I had already made this square, and a rectangular rather, and it's 3x4. I colored the edges of the paper with some ink so that I could see them, and so then I just traced around the piece of paper. And I'm using a box cutter here, or a craft knife, and I couldn't find my good one, so I had to use this little bitty thing. But anyway, it didn't. So rather than take a chance on overcutting, I came up a little short and went back with my scissors and met the corners. So going back and burnishing those fold lines, the first one is a mountain and the second one is a valley, and I burnish it on both sides, and there you can see. Now I cut out this one of the papers I showed you to come down below the opening. So of course I'm going to have to go back and cut that out just around that rectangle. So I figured the best way to do it was just to lift those little wings up and then I can go back and cut out. So I put some glue, some Tombow Mono Multi on it earlier, because once it dries and it's repositionable and you can just pull it right off, which is what I did. And then I'm just cutting out that long rectangle that fits over the center rectangle. And as I've said before, one of the things I love to do is go around the edges of my papers with ink, colored ink. It just gives them to me a finished edge, and then also covers up sometimes that white middle of the paper where the layers, and doesn't show that. I just like the look of the dark better. So here we go. I went back and cut that same thing out of the gold from my stash, and please forgive my hair. It's embarrassing, but I had to lean over to match those score marks, and got those lined up, and then burnished the scores with the white paper too. And that's pretty thick paper. It's surprising. It's almost like watercolor paper. And so then I put the orange and aqua or turquoise or whatever you call that color, blue, and put those stripes down. I'm going over some little squares of paper in the center one, because I want to come back and put a sticker. The theme of this family night is music and dancing, or playing games, or watching movies, whatever you like to do. And so I was just showing how I just played with these different pieces of paper so I could see which color I thought I liked the best, and I thought I'd just show you that little process. It's kind of fun to see different papers. And but I decided with the green and the polka dot, which is from my stash also. It's not in the kit. And so then for the back, I played with these papers, and you'll see the back in a little while. So while that was drying, so that it would become repositionable, it is dry now, so I'm going to put it back on, pull off the sticker backing, and put down that one. Turn on the radio and dance. Some little records, you can't really tell too much what they are, and moving them around, they're so tiny, but just something for interest. Then I'm putting on the big sticker of the game, and just putting it where it doesn't clog up that opening and keep the little wings from turning. And then here's Dad with the little boy. So after I put that down, I decided I might change the position of the first one, raise it up a little bit. You get those little stickers, the background papers that are sticky. They stick to your fingers all over the place. It's hard to get them off. And so then I did put down some records. I could have done movies and games and all kinds of things. There are all kinds of stickers in this kit. And that one says fun. And then also you could use that little area right there to write a note on. And so this is the back, another sticker, a little strip with some records on it. And I'm cutting the top of that record strip off. It was long. And then another sticker. And that pretty much does it. And you can just see the way it eases there. I think next time, and I've done this before, instead of cutting with the craft knife, I use a die, and maybe I'll show that sometime, and it makes it a little easier to work with, in my opinion, to cut those. I'm going to call them wings because I don't know what else to call them, the edges of the rectangle. But that's the way it looks. You fold it up. It goes in the 5x7 envelope. no problem. And then when you set it out, it's nice because it'll stand up on its own, and then you can see through there, and lots of room there to write a message. Lots of room. You could even fold up a message and put it on there so nobody could read it. But I'm just speeding this up really fast and just putting a bunch of dots and all kinds of things just to fill in with some color. So I hope you enjoy. You'll give this a try. I think it's a very attractive card, and a little more work involved in a lot of cards, and I think it shows. So thanks for being here. Please be back soon. I plan to be back again pretty soon. So until then, have a wonderful day and see you next time. Bye-bye.